If you can go back in time and rehire every single one of your employees, the question is, would you? And if not, why are they still here? Hello, my name is Daniel Hindi, and today we're going to talk about how to analyze your human capital. Let's be honest, we've all hired people we probably shouldn't have, and we all regretted it later. And if you haven't, welcome to business. How's the first day? Give it a couple of days, you'll know what I'm talking about. As much as the world likes to paint business owners and managers as cold-hearted, bottom-line calculating machines, the truth of the matter is, most of us keep bad employees far longer than we should, and we know it. So I've already made videos on how to hire. I've made videos on how to upgrade your team. I've even made videos on how to properly fire somebody on your team. But today we really want to focus in on and hone in on the analysis of our human capital, because bad employees cost us far more than replacing them. The U.S. Department of Labor says the cost of bad hires can reach up to 30% of their annual salary. The Undercover Recruiter reports bad hires can cost up to $250,000 in expenses, broken down into the cost of hiring, maintaining, and replacing. Career Builder says 74% of companies who've made poor hires lost an average of $15,000 per bad hire. Now, this is an enormous amount. It's extremely expensive when you make a bad decision, and it's not good for you and it's not good for the employee. The employee can't find a position that is better suited for them if they're stuck where they're at, thinking they're doing a good job when they're really not. Now, like I said before, I'm guilty of this as well. I've hired people and regretted it afterwards. And the truth is, I don't look at them as resources. I look at them as people, especially if I asked you to quit your current job and come work for me, and then I regret asking you to do that. I feel guilt. It weighs on my conscience that I'm affecting you and your family. So this is one of my biggest motivations on why to hire correctly and how to upgrade my team so I can avoid firing people. And if I do fire people, that I do it in the proper way. Again, if you haven't seen my other videos, pause this video, go watch those so you're better equipped. So let me ask you again, if you could go back in time and hire all your employees, would you? Let me take a wild guess. The answer is no. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. So then you ask yourself, what went wrong? Why did I make these bad hires? And especially if you've done several, what is the pattern that's not being broken? So just like many problems in business, the answer starts with you. Did you establish a scientific method for hiring, something that's consistent and measurable, and not just from a whim and dealing with emotions and personalities when you hire people to your team? Are you doing it in a methodical, calculated way so you know you're getting a team member that's going to up your game to bring your business to the next level? So if you haven't established a process, now is the time. Go back and read books like Top Grading and Who. They're really good resources on how to establish a hiring process, and make sure you stick to it. So the first thing you do when analyzing your human capital is to take a look at all your team members and see who contributes less than they are consuming. So when you're looking at somebody like a sales rep, that's extremely simple. You see the revenue generated by the sales rep, and then how much do they cost you between their fully burdened salary and commissions and so on, to see, are they generating more revenue than they are consuming? The problem is there are many types of positions that aren't directly tied to revenue. They're not directly tied to churn. They are part of operating costs, and you need to find a way to measure whether they're consuming more than contributing. So for example, are they consuming more of your time than their peers? Are they supercharging their peers? Are they multipliers? Some people you just add them to a team, any team, and they make that team better. And some people you add to a team, and whatever team that is, it makes a team worse. Before we continue, make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date with our latest content. So you can ask yourself, is this person asking more questions than they are answering questions? Is this particular individual somebody who brings you problems or brings you solutions to existing problems? And you could sort of help categorize these individuals to see, based on their role, what are their responsibilities and are they contributing in solving problems, or are they part of the problem? It's hard to tie sometimes an engineer working on a product directly with revenue and sales. Not like sales and marketing departments, it's much easier to tie them to revenue. However, when you look at an engineer, so is that engineer somebody who's constantly telling you no and how the request that you're asking is far too complex and we should never do it, and they're constantly complaining about their task, constantly complaining about the requests you're making as a business owner and telling you why they shouldn't do it? Or are they people that take your request, analyze it, regurgitate it back to you in a clear and logical way that allows them to say, here are the vulnerabilities, but don't worry, I have solutions for these vulnerabilities. Let me make sure that we address those before we begin. That's somebody who analyzed the feature that you wanted to create and is immediately not trying to poke holes, but looking to see how robust that solution is. And they're helping contribute to find solutions to make your feature more resilient. Challenge time. I'd like to understand what part of the hiring process that you're going to change in your company after you've analyzed the people that are on your team that you probably shouldn't have. What mistakes did you do during hiring, and what questions are you going to ask to resolve that in your hiring process? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear it so we can all benefit. So in short, analyzing your human capital in your business is extremely important to make sure that everybody in your team makes the rest of the team that much better and contributes to taking your business to the next level. And starting at the hiring process, so you make sure that everybody new joining the team is increasing your human capital and not creating a deficiency. And when somebody slips through that really shouldn't have, that you fully understand the cost of keeping them on, and then you manage them out of your company through the proper methods, but they need to either shape up or find something that's more suitable for them. I hope this video gave you clear and logical steps on how to best analyze your human capital.